Hello everyone, it's Annie. I was just, gosh, I wish I had like a tripod or something. This is gonna make people dizzy. Uh, hmm. So I guess I just wanted to talk about something that I should have set up first. I wanted to talk about something that I recently I thought for a while about, but something that just recently came back into my awareness because I signed up for this like ADHD professional development training, whatever, PD course online. And I was, I always obviously I have to do professional development hours. So, aren't we all kind of, all professionals kind of looking for something interesting that we want to learn more about? And so I saw this ADHD professionals intensive training course, blah, blah. I thought, I deal with that all every day. Like with all my students, I see ADHD on a spectrum. I don't know anyone who doesn't have some attention difficulties. Like, I don't think anyone can just listen to a lecture that's not intriguing to them for an hour and a half and be just content. Like, you're gonna be distracted. But I think that this next generation is like being trained to have the attention span of robots, because it's like you got video games, you got TV, you got the internet, YouTube, millions, billions of videos out there, video content for kids to access. So you don't ever have to deal with boredom. You don't ever have to worry about how am I going to fill up this next space. So if you're forced to be in a situation, for instance, in school where you have to sit there, and technically you're not supposed to be on your phone, and just pay attention and focus on something that might be really, really uninteresting to you. So that's really, I just feel like it's becoming more and more increasingly challenging to deal with students in the classroom who just are acting out because they can't focus. And I don't think, anyway, my thought is like, we should not pathologize this problem. It's just neurodivergence. It's just a different way of thinking that's just become more and more common. And I think this evolution, this would have evolved to be anyway. I think it's just happening at more of an accelerated rate because of just the internet, social media. Yeah. And just as technology gets better, it gets better. And so everything happens more quickly. So I guess I was just disappointed when I started to launch the course and it says, now watch me that I'm just totally like misinterpreting this, and maybe this is just an attention grabber, but it says Part 1, changing the ADHD brain, moving beyond medication. So I'm hoping that the changing the ADHD brain is an attention grabber. Moving beyond medication implies that we don't need to medicate a brain that is not malfunctioning. It's just different. We don't need to medicate to fit into a system that wasn't made for that brain. We need to change the system to accommodate what is quickly becoming the more prevalent brain type. Anyway, so I guess I'm hoping this because I really, perhaps I shouldn't make a Facebook post before I actually listen to the content of that. It just reminded me that whether or not it's the content, I feel like there's still a large focus in the medical community of let's change that brain. it's wrong. Like, you can't focus long enough. So what can we do to change the neurocircuitry? Whatever. So I just think that I'm just distracted. It's kind of funny. I'm doing a video on distraction and ADHD, and I lost my train of thought, and I'm distracted by other thoughts. Yeah. But I I can't even remain attentive enough. So anyway, I don't think we need to focus on changing it. I think that this is a good thing. I think that it's just a really, really, it's a gift. ADHD is a gift. Like, it is just phenomenal to have the ability to shift your focus so frequently and to notice so many different things. Like I said, it's like robots in training. I mean, I think that is I wouldn't say a talent, just like that's a gift to have that brain, to have the ability to do that. It's just that the consequences for having that brain in a society that, in a world, a culture that wasn't built for you, I think that we need to start to pathologize the world that the ADHD brain lives in, and not the individual. We need to look at the bigger picture, take our focus off of the individual. And like, if I skip ahead a little bit, I would say I wouldn't even like pathologize the world that the ADHD brain lives in. It's just that times are changing and we can't fight it. We can't resist. Times are changing. We need to go with the flow, observe that it's changing, not try to dissect why. We can't know why right now, but times are changing and we need to accommodate to fit with those times. So many people are focused on we have to resist, we have to be like it was in 1950 or 1920. Why does it need to be that way? And isn't that very egocentric to think that it needs to be that way because that's how it was when I was, coming of age, when I was younger? So we need to go back to a time, just because your ego cannot handle the fact that just because your experience and your nostalgia creates this fantasy that this was perfection and this is how it should always be, allow change. Just, you need to allow it. It's okay, maybe it's better, maybe it's not, but we have to just allow it to happen. And even if it isn't what we expected, that doesn't mean it was the wrong thing. Like, change is always kind of necessary. So anyway, with that, I will peace out. Thank you for listening.